It is time to take a look at our tale of the tape for this fight, brought to you by Bud Light, the beer you can always count on. 7 years the elder is Lino Sanchez over Steven Stirewalt. Stirewalt holds the 1-inch height advantage and nearly 3-inch reach advantage. Weight is pretty much dead even. Will Steven Stirewalt be successful in his pro debut, or will Lino Sanchez move to 2-0? Let's find out as we go inside the cage with Britt Talbert.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first pro fight tonight is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the Front Street Fights Bantamweight division, and is brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. Our business is earning your trust. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my left, with an unblemished record of 1 win against 0 defeats, standing in at 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 134.5 pounds, fighting out of Caldwell, Idaho, proudly representing No Excuse MMA. Please welcome Dream Crusher, Lino Sanchez. His opponent fighting out of the red corner to my right, making his professional debut here this evening, standing in at 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at an even 134 pounds, fighting out of Boise, Idaho, proudly representing SBG Idaho. Please welcome Steven Stirewalt. Our referee when the action begins for this fight will be Mr. Tom Supnet.
Getting ready for our first pro bout of the night, the pro debut of Steven Stirewalt. The return of Lino Sanchez. Referee Tom Supnet signifies we are underway, and here we go. Of course, moving up to the pro ranks, as you mentioned, Mitch, all rounds, 3 5-minute rounds.
A lot of power from Lino Sanchez, but, you know, just before this kicks off, you know, I really think Steven has the advantage. Stirewalt has the advantage on the ground compared to Lino, but obviously Lino's got a lot of power, you know, on the stand-up.
Good catch, barely misses with an overhand right. Another left kick there by Stirewalt in the black and blue trunks.
Unbelievable.
And the black and red trunks. The fists are flying from Sanchez. Stirewalt doing a good job getting the double underhook, pressing Sanchez back against the cage.
Sanchez had a really nice, I think it was a jab and then a right cross. And to Stirewalt's credit, he ate that and just you know, immediately parried right into a clinch, and you know, that's a very good presence of mind.
Both men trying to throw a couple knees. Lino Sanchez using that power to back Stirewalt up against the cage, now making Stirewalt work to escape.
Stirewalt's trying to look for getting that head separation with his forearm shiver there, but then he opens his gut up and, you know, trying to get that knee, it looks like.
Both men come separated. Both men looking good early on, just 90 seconds into round number 1.
That didn't really connect.
Front kick attempt, both men exchanging.
Very good job with Lino, how he made Stirewalt pay when he came in with that kind of lunging kind of front kick. And I think it was a right, little bit of a
Both men trying to trade kicks there, meeting in the middle. Might have had to connect there. We are going to take a time here right now. Accidental low kick there. Lino has up to 5 minutes to take a break. Referee Tom Supnet going to check on him, make sure he's okay. Just over 3 minutes left. He's going to come over and give Steven a little talking to there.
Tom Supnet's a really good referee. He actually, I didn't train with him, but he was my promoter when I was fighting back in the Stone Age.
We're back underway. Just 3 minutes left. Are you old enough to be back in the Stone Age? Lino going for a left-right combination. Stirewalt doing a good job of blocking it.
Stirewalt's got really good fundamentals. Lino's, it's pretty surprising because all those power shots
there by Stirewalt.
All those power shots are landing, which is, you know, kind of unusual, you know.
Both men trading kicks right there.
Right in the sternum.
Stirewalt almost connecting with a good right to the chin of Sanchez. Sanchez with the knee to Stirewalt. Now both men exchanging knees.
Stirewalt needs to be careful for those. Nice outside trip. But here's
this is where you said Stirewalt might have the advantage on the ground. Looking for an armbar, immediately trying to lock in that armbar. Sanchez doing a good job holding on to the wrist, blocking that attempt. How fast things can change.
Lino did a really nice defense, but it only takes one mess up, So what he needs to try to do is always kind of keep him
trying to work an armbar again.
I think it's deep. I see some wincing over there.
Good job by Stirewalt pushing the legs out.
Looks like he's got the
really
angle
trying to work on it,
Yep.
trying to winch that arm in. He has got it locked in tight. Good roll through by Lino Sanchez. Stirewalt is pulling.
See, but
Sanchez is holding on.
The thing here is the fence is getting in the way of the extension of Stirewalt, and that's what you see. So kind of good luck to Lino. Unbelievable.
Good job by Sanchez. Holding on, using the cage, getting out of that arm bar.
And Sanchez has Stirewalt's arm trap there.
Sanchez gets back position now. Sanchez trying to get both hooks in there. Really get full control, maybe try and throw a rear naked choke.
He's got strong hips. Look at how he was able to stretch Stirewalt out.
Got both hooks in now. Almost kind of a figure four type thing.
Yeah, he's almost halfway. No, now he's half guard, so.
Sanchez throwing an elbow. Stirewalt again.
It's smart by Stirewalt because he had such success. He whips those triangles and arm bars up so quickly. His hips get really active and get 90 degrees compared to the spine of Sanchez so quickly. See, watch. And that's not even
the
quick,
power that Stirewalt has on the ground right there. You can see just the pressure that Sanchez is putting down a couple of times, able to use his hip strength to escape as he eats a couple more lefts and rights from Sanchez.
Except for the armbar, close armbar, I would give this to Lino. So this is going to be a hard round to score because
10 seconds left in round number one. Sanchez trying to throw a few more lefts and rights. Stirewalt trying to hold him in and fend off that pressure as we come to the conclusion of round number one. Exciting bouts of action back and forth between both competitors as we get ready for the Project Filter replay brought to you by Project Filter. You decide when. We'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org. Here's that early armbar attempt.
And see how Stirewalt's hips pop right out, and that's what I was talking about, getting to 90 degrees right away. Just comes up so quick, climbed his legs, climb, and then all of a sudden his head pops under, his hips are out, and now he's threatening the triangle. But what you see here is Lino ended up jumping over. Stirewalt had a second attempt, but see, now Stirewalt couldn't extend his back backwards to get his hips driving because that cage was in the way, among other things. Yep.
Well, you talked about the wincing on the face of Sanchez. I mean, he had that in deep.
Yeah.
He was lucky that the cage was there. I'm sure Stirewalt would have extended the back, and that might have been all she wrote.
Yeah, God bless adrenaline.
Of course, as you notice, both competitors wearing matching gloves. Our thanks to the Idaho Army National Guard as we continue a great partnership with them, now the sponsors of the gloves you will see all pro fighters wearing tonight. So our thanks for everything they do for not only us, but their service to our country. We are proud to have the Idaho Army National Guard on board with us. Exciting round number one. Expect more in round number two?
Yeah. I expect it. Like I said before I was rudely interrupted by the round, is Stirewalt. I give him obviously the advantage, for the near submission submission finishes, near finishes. Kudos to him. But Lino, had better power punches and connected, and he was the aggressor. So how would you
another left-right combination by Sanchez.
Absolutely. How would you score that if you're the judge? If you know less about grappling, you'd probably score that for Lino. And a lot of judges have issues with not understanding grappling.
Sanchez going for a huge overhand right, missing that, and again backing Stirewalt into the cage.
So this could be on the scorecards anyone's match right now.
Elbow by Sanchez, both men exchanging a couple of knees there.
Lino's doing a good job, getting his hips forward and kind of pushing in when he gets there.
Stirewalt trying to throw him down to the ground. He's got the double underhook. Sanchez, much like he used the cage earlier in the first round, leaning back, Stirewalt leaning in, looking for now a single leg takedown.
And what Lino needs to do to prevent that takedown is get his feet as wide as possible. Get his feet wide as possible, have a nice wide stance. He needs to let go of that head, too.
Stirewalt catches it with a knee, a left, right.
He's
Again, going for the double leg takedown. Sanchez has got the hooks in as well, too. Both men kind of taking it back down to the ground.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing by locking his arms kind of over just like that. He's doing the right thing.
Stirewalt picks him up to the center of the cage and drops him and goes back position. Sanchez rolls through, trying to push Stirewalt back. Amazing series right there.
You're seeing Sanchez get a little bit gassed right now. You can see him it looked like he got hit something. He was wincing right there. Oh,
hard right elbow by Stirewalt. Sanchez is in trouble right now. Stirewalt not letting him get away. Tangling the legs. A couple of rights to the body, one to the head.
So what he's doing right there, we call it like a toreando. It's called like a bullfighter. You fake the legs one way, you throw it the other. Use the guy's core reaction when his, to defend that, and you just fly right past him, and you got that nice elbow.
Stirewalt gets mount. Lino Sanchez with the bear hug, trying to hold on. We saw this in an early amateur fight. He's got the position. Two hard right elbows, hard left elbow, another right elbow. 2.5 minutes gone by in round number 2. Lino Sanchez rolling out of it, still trying to figure out how is he gonna get away from Steven Stirewalt. Sanchez doing everything he can to hold on to that leg right now. Stirewalt waiting for his time. Will he find an opening to close out this fight?
I think what you're seeing here is Sanchez is kind of just on autopilot, kind of old school wrestling
Sanchez
days.
now gets mount, gets the hooks in. What a reversal of fortune. Sanchez maybe now trying to do some damage to get back into this thing.
Stirewalt's trying to go to the hips. He's in the armpits trying to create space. He's actually doing the right things to try to escape. And he feels that he can
Gotta be careful not to give him the back.
He feels that he can give the back and escape a lot easier because he's got the better ground game. So he would rather get the back and defend kind of a fruitless choke as opposed to defending raining down blows from Lino Sanchez. Now he's going for full guard. And how quickly this can switch from defensive kind of running for your life to all of a sudden being in his closed guard of Stirewalt, and Sanchez is in trouble. He's going to put the foot on the hip, get his hips out to his left.
65 seconds left in round number 2. You hear the chants for Lino. You hear chants for Stirewalt.
That was surprising that Lino got out of Stirewalt's guard that easily. And now Stirewalt's doing the correct things, strategically.
Stirewalt back to his feet. Good job by Stirewalt. Great job by Sanchez. Back to exchanging knees as we come up to 35 seconds left in round number 2. Sanchez back down with a single leg sweep on top of Stirewalt.
My buddy Josh Berkman, he's fought in the UFC several times, Strike Force. He said, jiu-jitsu, I know who hits you. And so that seems like what Lino's doing. Oh yeah, you need me in the body, I'll just take you down.
Coming up on the final 10 seconds in round number 2, which can only be described as a tale of two halves. It's almost kind of like a football analogy. You see one team do one thing in the first half, then the other team comes back in the second half.
Yeah.
First half of this round, all Stirewalt. Second half of this round, all Sanchez. As we go back to the Project Filter replay brought to you by Project Filter, you decide when we'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org.
Yeah, that was a nice, just little, just straight up man takedown. Just picked him up belly to belly, walked him to the center of the cage and dropped him. And here you're going to see Stirewalt go to actually do the toreando with the bunch of punches to the face. I think this might show his now.
This is kind of what looked like may have been the beginning of the end for Sanchez.
Yeah, right there.
Right there, that hard right elbow.
And here you see the wall walk. He almost got a choke here. Watch this. Almost got a choke. But Lino Sanchez sniffed that out, and then he started taking knee shots. Those knee shots hit. and then he elected for the outside trip.
Such an amazing second round by both of these competitors.
I
Again,
think that
a tale of two halves.
Absolutely, Matt. I think that those knee shots from Stirewalt to Sanchez are going to kind of take their toll in this third round. We'll see.
If you thought round number 2 was exciting, buckle up. I bet you round number 3 brings more of the same.
Lino's hands have dropped a little bit. You know, those for 2 rounds he's been taking knees, especially in the clinch against the cage from Stirewalt. And now you start to see that really starts to get right to that, you know, the cardio, the hands start dropping.
Sanchez with the front kick, both men exchanging left or right combinations. Good job by Sanchez to grab the leg, but then eats a couple of punches from Stirewalt, but able to give a couple punches back. Stirewalt with an inside kick there. Sanchez trying to throw one back and return the favor.
Those kicks are pretty much uncontested at this point. Meaning, you know, Sanchez.
Oh, Stirewalt close to landing a home run
Sanchez
shot.
is not, you know, countering with punches off of those kicks, and you can see him from a mile away, and he's not checking those kicks either, you know.
Sanchez gets a good right there on Stirewalt.
See those big looping shots, Matt? That's kind of, you know, Lino's such a fantastic, you know, like showman, you know, but sometimes what happens is those, you know, those knees kind of take all the show out of you.
Stirewalt backing Sanchez against the cage.
I mean, think of the punishment he's taken. He took a growing shot. He's taken all these knees.
A few elbows.
Yeah, the elbows on the ground from the Toreando, and he's just still, you know, so like I said, I mean, you know, he just keeps soldiering forward. There's more knees.
Little do-si-do switch. Sanchez backing Stirewalt into the cage. Trying to get out, gets the takedown on Stirewalt.
See, but here's the issue. When you have a good grappler in the center of the ring, then the guy on top can't use the cage to nullify the hips of the bottom guy.
Well, it's what you saw in the first round with the armbar
triangle.
attempt.
Here's a triangle, isolated triangle. It's not a triangle yet. And Sanchez has his arm inside the crotch there, you know, kind of preventing that single arm being inside. He's doing a good job. He's doing a really good job crowding him.
He's got it locked in. Does he have the triangle? Again, Sanchez able to slip out.
Yeah, and this is what all that blood and sweat is what you get from that.
Well, you mentioned that Stirewalt might have the advantage on the ground. I think it's safe to say that he does have the advantage on the ground.
Excuse me, counselor. I did not say might. I don't think I said might. We can roll the tape.
We can go back and look at the tape later.
So check this. When I was training high-level guys in the UFC, which is only a few, but you know, some pretty good guys. What I found when I was training with them, and I got to this point, you know, being their training partners and coach, is that arm bars, triangles, none of that worked.
Elbows.
None of that worked. You know what worked? Naked chokes and Kimuras, because those are the only things you can't really slip out of. And so I found out real quickly, like training it with, you know, Martin Kampman and different really top-level guys, is, you know, those things don't work. So that's what you saw there. Is fundamentally, Stirewalt's game was really technical. But
1 minute, 20 seconds left in round number 3, this third and final round between Lino Sanchez and Steven Stirewalt. Sanchez trying to figure out how to get away from Stirewalt. Stirewalt doing a good job being patient on the ground, taking his shots when he can get them as we come up on 60 seconds left. And at this fight, Sanchez drops a couple of hammer fists. Again, Stirewalt just being patient, waiting for his opportunity.
Yeah, and I was thinking for a second maybe he was Sanchez was marching, you know, scooting Stirewalt's head into the cage, you know, but then all he's really doing is just trailing the hips and trying to stay square. I don't think he really knows where he's at.
Rights, both men exchanging elbows. The chance of Lino coming back from the crowd.
Watch the triangle here.
30 seconds to a finish, trying for an armbar. Sanchez holding on, blocking it again. The fist, the elbow from Stirewalt.
Man, how do you score this?
20 seconds left in round number 3. The elbow from Sanchez. 2 elbows from Stirewalt. Good block by Stirewalt. A miss by Sanchez. Coming up on 10 seconds left. This one almost certainly will go to the judges. Another tough decision on their hands. As the horn sounds, 3 rounds to a finish between Lino Sanchez and Steven Stirewalt. We talked about one of the amateur fights being an early contender for fight of the night. Obviously, this is our first fight. Right now, this one is going to be hard to top. You saw the power coming from Lino. There was no quit. The control that Stirewalt has as we get ready for the Project Filter replay brought to you by Project Filter. You decide when, we'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org.
Yeah, here you saw the takedown right in the middle of the cage, and I think what happened was Lino nullified the hips pretty easily doing ground and pound. You see here's a triangle attempt, and you see him
didn't even notice that. Sanchez was leaking a little oil there.
That's why you get slipped out of those triangles and arm bars. And here's the end.
You can see Stirewalt just being patient, taking the shots with the elbows when he can. Lino Sanchez hanging in there, doing what he can do, trying to land whatever shot he could. Tough to score, but you might almost think, without trying to be a little predictive, but how round number 3 ended might lean that in the favor of the way of Steven Stirewalt.
Yeah, I believe Steven has it, but you know, like I said, if you leave it to the judges, you know, they might value power shots, which Sanchez had more. You know, he had more power shots, and he was the aggressor more. You know, meaning he looked like the aggressor. You know, some judges might really value the ground and attacking. You know, constantly segueing from, you know, submission attempt to submission attempt, and then those knees really added up, and he had really good. You know, his Stirewalt's stand-up was not lacking at all.
Well, the scores are in. Let's find out which way the judges saw this one go. We are going to send it back inside the cage with Britt Talbert for tonight's official results.
Ladies and gentlemen, about one more round of applause for these two combatants here tonight. Emptied the tank, gave you 3 rounds of action. So we will move to the judges' scorecards. Judge Rulanday scores this bout 30-27. Judge Tim Turner scores this bout 29-28. Judge Las Martinez scores this bout also 29-28 for your winner in his professional debut, fighting out of the red corner, Steven Stirewalt. Steven, real quick, we can have you here with us for a second. Our High Desert Harley girls, they've got a bodybuilding.com swag bag for you. Want to have just a moment with you real quick. That was a battle.
It was a battle. I'm glad I got the win, but I'm not exactly happy about that performance. So I'll come back even better next time.
I don't know if I've ever seen a more composed fighter. You don't ever seem to panic in anything, but he put a lot of pressure on you, didn't he?
He did. He landed quite a few hard punches. I wasn't moving my head as much as I should have, but, you know, a win's a win, so.
What's next for you, Steven?
Go back to the gym, keep training, you know. I'll come back a few months down the line, even better than I showed up tonight, so.
You never get here without a lot of people behind you. Who do you want to thank here tonight, Steven?
I mean, all the usual, you know. I want to thank my coaches who are here in my corner, Tomets, Mike, Jesse. I want to thank my girlfriend for being there for me. I want to thank my parents, my family, and all the people at the gym that, you know, helped me train, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, victorious in his professional debut, Steven Stirewalt.